Yeah, and no, I can't be fucked putting my teeth in this morning. Okay, so this is in regards to a bus lane ticket I got from AT back on the 9th or 10th of February when my mate from Ashburton was up for a visit. Now there's a bit of a dispute over the fact that I couldn't be in anything but a bus lane, considering they changed every lane on my side of the road going down from the top of Queen Street in central Auckland was a bus lane. So I didn't have a choice of being in a bus lane because they were all bus lanes. So to me that's a bit of a trap to begin with, but I tried a different tack this time. Last time I went through the whole court process, challenged it, had the hearing. They couldn't prove that I was the driver of the vehicle, but bounced back to the old section 133 of the Land Transport Act and stated, because I'm the registered owner, one of the registered owners, the primary registered owner, even though there's more than one, that I was liable for the fine, even though the witness on the stand could not identify me. All they could do was identify that it was that vehicle. And yet when you look at the fines and when you look at the tickets, it always says in that you drove a motor vehicle. First of all, who the fuck is you? Secondly, prove that I was driving. But they don't. They go back to the presumption that's in section 133. So what I did, instead of going through all the 18 months of my time, 4 or 5 trips back and forwards to the courthouse, all costing me money, and being shafted by the court system, even though they couldn't prove their case, and a stupid fucking JP decided to make a decision, and then of course, not to mention that the court costs that were only $30 turned into $130 because the Ministry of Justice had committed fraud and sent me a notice of fine saying it was $130. It took me a month to prove that. I even sent them a recording of the hearing and had to contact the prosecutor on the other side at AT for him to confirm the court costs were $30 before they would change it. So this is the ridiculous judicial system in New Zealand. So this time I thought I'd try a different tact. Now when I got the ticket, fair enough, I, just like everyone else, was busy. I've had bad health with IBS or IBD, yeah, my health goes up and down like a bloody seesaw. So I decided this time, instead of going through the whole court process, which ended up, I might add, as me paying it off at $5 a week to the Department of Collections. They just took it out of the benefit after I approved it. I didn't allow them to do the old forceful, we're going to put an attachment order. I just rang up the courts and said, let's work it out, and I got $5 a week. So ironically, just after finished paying for that, I get this bus lane ticket on Queen Street. So yeah, the different tact was that instead, and I forgot the first ticket, I got sent the reminder which jolted my memory and said, oh shit, I better get this sorted. So I decided just to set up a standard automatic payment to Auckland Transport for $5 a week. Exactly the same as what I was doing with the Department of Collections. The theory of doing this was to save myself the $30 court costs, not to mention countless amounts of money going backwards and forwards in petrol, time, and all the rest. So I figured I'm just going to drop them $5 a week. I'm not going to argue the fact that I wasn't driving, because I was. But yeah, so from the 1st of May is when I started paying $5 a week. We're up to 13th of August. So tomorrow there'll be another payment, which will make the balance of the debt $50. Okay? Now 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, on the 31st of July, after they tried in June, this is Auckland Transport, tried in June to put Bay Corp Collections onto my ass, which we're just told it's in dispute and they handed it back to the Auckland Transport, they then decided that after no payments being missed, just carrying on, it'll be finished about mid-end of October at $5 a week, and given, yep, there's only $50 left after tomorrow, which is another 10 weeks, 2.5 months. So like I say, end of October it'll be finished. These fuckers decide to send me a court fine. Notice of court fine. We've all seen these, aren't they wonderful? So, yeah, and on this it says that the fine is for $65. Now granted, they received it on the 31st of July, but the fine is not $65 because you've got to get in your head that before it hits court, it is a fee. I was charged an infringement fee, and it is the fee that I was honouring and paying at $5 a week. No, I didn't ring up AT and arrange this. I just set it up because AT, like many other bill payees, is set up as an automatic payment preferred payee in your bank account. You set up an automatic payment, they're there already in the list. So you just set up Auckland Transport, put in the PPN or the personal profile number, and that was it. And clearly they'd been receiving it because clearly the fee's gone down. But what happens is once it goes over to court, it becomes a fine. Now, it can only become a fine if I'm found guilty of committing that offence. It's still a fee. I haven't had a court process, no due process whatsoever, and then I'm sent this notice of court fine. Normally you get these after a judgment in a court. There's been no court process. Now, when I'm after having a rather heated debate with the 0800 courts number last week, and I'm going to put that up in the video, where they threatened to do the whole arrest. I said to them, if any prick comes on this property, you won't be leaving upright, which I have every right to fucking do. That's not a threat, that's just a matter of fact. Anyone comes on this property and wants to try and threaten me over a $50 fine or fee, they aren't leaving fucking upright. So this is what happened. I called them up. He does the whole threat thing. We go through this thing for 15 minutes. And then at the end he decides, well, why don't you try 78B? And I said, well, what's the 78B? That's where you get to file a form into the court disputing the fact that it's been lodged with the court in the first place. Now, I have all of the proof that I've been paying them off regularly. If I decided to go for what's called a summary judgment, admit facts into and let a judge put it before a judge, the judge is just going to say, he's paying it off at $5 a week, why the fuck are we even dealing with it? Auckland Transport have decided to waste the court's valuable time and resources by filing it with them, and now I've got to deal with another pack of arseholes that are just fucking useless. Luckily, this was in Auckland City, so the jurisdiction is Auckland District Court, and they're not too bad, especially compared to Manukau. Manukau need to be fucking shot, and I'm meaning that not literally, I'm meaning that figuratively. They need to be fucking levelled and restarted because they are absolutely fucking useless. Judge Jane Lovell-Smith, Judge Jay Forrest, all of you fucking judges there are as thick as two Bob watches. And as for the discrimination of Judge Jane Lovell-Smith, let's just say I don't think good things about her, and I certainly don't wish good things upon her. So what I'm going to do now is I've got to ring, because I'm reading through this how to fill out the 78B form, which is, and just in case you want to see what one of them are, there's your 78B form. It's a 5-page document, application to dispute that a fine has been filed in court. Okay, you fill out all that shit, give us your details, give us your CRN number. So, and the forms, you know, basic details, give us the reasons, yada yada yada, supply your evidence. Out of your 9 choices here, you've got my identity was mistaken, I did not get a reminder notice, I did not get a notice of hearing. First 2 I didn't get a notice of hearing because it never went to a hearing. I asked for a hearing, no I didn't, because I just was paying it. I completed the prosecuting. I complied with the prosecuting authority's instructions. Yep, I set up an automatic payment to pay them. They said to arrange payment, so I did. I even rang them up after I set up the AP to let them know that that's what I'm doing. I didn't ring them up to beg and plead with them and arrange an amount that everyone's happy with, because I'd just finished paying off the Department of Collections $5 a week for exactly the same thing. So no point in going down that avenue. And $5 a week is quite frankly all I could afford to give them. Fuck them. I complied. I had more time to ask for a hearing. I asked for more information and I paid the prosecuting authority on time. Well, no, I didn't pay them on time because there is no limit. To pay a debt in New Zealand, you have up to 5 years, especially to any company. They don't have a lifespan, they're not going to die, and they're not going anywhere, so you do have generally up to 5 years to pay off any debt. Fuck them and their 2-month fucking bullshit, because that's rubbish too, and I've proven it. So there's that. Tell us anything else we might need to know. You know, you're a pack of wankers, you're a completely waste of fucking air, you guys all need to fucking drop dead. You know, you can tell them that, but it's not going to get you anywhere, even though you might think it. Sign and date the form, do a quick check, confirming the reasons you believe. No, I don't. It's not that I don't believe. A belief is something absent fact. I have every inkling of fact to prove it, so it's not a belief, it's a fact. Confirm the reasons you in fact know the prosecuting authority made a mistake. What they've done is they've used the Ministry of Justice as a debt collector, because Baycorp didn't get anywhere with me. So now they've gone over to the courts. If this was a private company, they'd have no shit show in hell to use the court system. They'd have to go through a disputes tribunal, which costs them $50 to lodge. They ain't going to waste their time, and it would cost them more for legal representation. So that's the bullshit behind all of that, guys. So what I'm going to do is put those there all back in order, and we're going to give them a call. Simply, I'm going to give these guys a call because I need a CRN. I need a crime reference number or a court reference number from these cockfuckers so I can fill out their form. Though I'm suspecting what they'll do is they'll probably turn around and say, just put the PPN number there, which is a personal profile number. Every single person in New Zealand has a personal profile number. That is how they keep a track of you. Okay? Everyone has a PPN. Judges, everyone. So, it's just like your IRD number or any other skin tag they have for your human resource. Let's give them a call. 0800 434 637.
Ministry of Justice, speaking to Rosita. How can I help you today?
Hi, sorry, was it Rosita?
Yep, speaking. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for asking. How are you today?
No, not too bad. Box of fluffy ducks as always. I'm calling in regards to a notice of court fine I received in the post on the 7th of August.
Okay, is there a PPN number on that notice of court fine, please? Should be.
There is a personal profile number here. It is...
Thank you. Can I just grab your full name, including middle names, legal names, date of birth, please?
Sure, Mark Donald Eric Keane. I was there but can't remember.
Thank you. Can I please have your current home address, please, and email?
Sure.
Thank you. The number that you're calling from is your contact phone number.
It is indeed.
Thank you. And we have you here receiving. Thank you so much. Okay, we do have an outstanding balance here of $95. Are you able to make payment in full today to avoid a enforcement fee?
No, I didn't ring to sort out payment because ironically I'm already paying Auckland Transport $5 a week. The balance,
Okay, all right.
just if I could finish, the balance of the fee, because it's not a fine, because it was an infringement fee that I was paying with the Auckland Council, Auckland Transport, the balance of that is going to be from tomorrow $50. It is not $65. I understand that you received it on the 31st of July, which ironically was the same day another payment came out, so it should have actually been $60 on the 31st of July when you received when it was passed over to you. Now I rung a couple of days ago, which is why I know you received it on the 31st of July. The whole point of me paying it to Auckland Transport was to avoid the $30 court cost, which of course now they've slapped it over to you guys and wasted your court's valuable time and resources, because they're using you as a debt collection. I don't understand why they've done this, because I've been consecutively every week $5 a week. It'll be finished in mid.
I'll stop you.
Yeah.
Sorry. As far as I'm aware, Auckland Transport
Oh,
just
yes, they
require
do.
payment in full?
Yes, they do. They accept Afterpay, they accept Zip, they accept payments per week, but it's just not within their time frame. And ironically, with my last bus lane ticket, I went through the entire court process for 18 months. It ended up being found guilty with court costs, so the total was $180, which I paid off at $5 a week to the Department of Collections. So I thought I'd skip all of that and just pay them $5 a week once I got the ticket. So I thought, why waste your guys' time and my time and resources and just pay them straight away. I rang them up as soon as I set up the AP and told them that was what was happening. In June, they sent Baycorp onto my phone. Baycorp got told it's in dispute and it was passed back to Auckland Transport. Now, end of July, it's been passed on to you guys. After being threatened with arrest and warrants and everything from you guys when I spoke to you, and I know it's not yourself, Rosita, no offence to you. After I spoke to whoever the gentleman was a couple of days ago, he told me, why don't I do a 78B to dispute the fine has been filed with the court, which is the stage I'm up to now. I'm filling out the application to dispute that the fine has been filed with you guys, but it's asking, but I notice it's asking for a CRN, or a court reference number, or a crime reference number.
Okay.
Can you tell me what the CRN is, please?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
The CRN, so it is 2400
2400
444 6167.
6167. Is there a CRI number as well with that?
We have a CCN, but not a CRI.
No, that's all right. Well, the CRN will do the jobs, just so I can fill out your form correctly. Now, how do I get this form to you? I'll no doubt fill it out, scan it, and make it.
So you scan it and you email it to the dispute email at the front of the page.
Oh yes, I see that here. Yep, I see that here.
All right.
And turnaround time for finding out an answer on the dispute?
It depends. So I would recommend just emailing them, say, every week or every 2 weeks just to get a follow-up. Let us know, though, if you haven't heard anything by the 28th of August, just to give us an update, because after the 28th of August, that's where the fine becomes enforceable. So just give us an update by then. So what's today? Are you still got to
I haven't had any court hearing or anything, so I'm kind of curious as to why it's even got a CRN. I mean, there's been no notice of hearing sent to me.
Every fine that comes through to Ministry of Justice, they do give a CRN number regardless of whether you go before the courts or not. It's just on our database.
Cool. Well, that's been very, very helpful, Rosita. I'm sorry you had to listen to that long story, but
that's all right.
Yeah, just trying to do the paperwork and follow the right steps. The other option, I was wondering, am I possible to file a summary judgment with a notice to admit facts showing that all the payments have been made? Because, and my thoughts are, the judge will just look at that and go, he's been paying it off at $5 a week, why the hell is it performing?
You're more than welcome to add as much evidence as you like. There's no restriction, there's no cap on what you can supply as evidence. So if you think that will help appeal your case, then you're more than welcome to go ahead and add that as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You have a really great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye now. You have a good day. Bye. Unreal. Okay. So there you go. You heard it. 28th of August. So they've sent this to me they received it on 31st of July. They sent it to me. I live rurally, so it takes a long time for me to get mail. 7 days later, I received it, and which gives me 21 days, 3 weeks to pay them their supposed $65, which it isn't. So that's in dispute, because I only owe them $50 as from tomorrow, and it's $55 from the time they sent this out to me. Plus they want their little piece of meat as well. They want their $30, which was the whole fucking point that I went through AT and paid them directly in the first place, to avoid this. Now, I will take blame on the fact that I forgot about the ticket when it first came, and then it was when the reminder came that I decided to set up the AP. There was 6 or 7 weeks there that I could have started up the payment earlier, which means it would have finished by sort of start of October, late September, and they still would have done this, because as you can see, they were asking for it on the 28th of August. So the time frame, now a lot of people will say, well, why do they lodge it with the court? The reason they lodged it with the court is for an offence to be lodged in a court for a Category 1 offence, which is what a speeding ticket or bus lane ticket is, then they must file it before the court within 6 months of the infringement date. That is why they put it before the court. These guys won't ever tell you that, but it's one of the rules with Category 1 offences is that if you're going to file it in a court, you must file the court within 6 months. Okay, for more serious offences, there's longer periods of time. But the person must have his first call hearing or preliminary hearing within 6 months of the offence. That hasn't happened. So they haven't followed due course or due process. They're trying to slap on court costs for a fine that I was never found guilty of because I have honoured an infringement fee. It only becomes a fine. And yeah, it's semantics, but semantics matter sometimes. Apparently now with pronouns mattering so much, I think semantics on him, her, and you, me, and we, us, and all the rest of it makes a fucking difference. You sort of got to know who you are and what your capacities are and how you can represent yourself within various sections of society. You know? Are you a ewe? Are you a sheep that chews grass that gets fleeced cold for all of your resources? Or are you a fucking man or woman? That's what it boils down to. That's what we are. I'm not going to go on down that fucking rabbit hole. Never mind. So that was them. My next call is to AT, because I'm going to be ringing them up, asking them why they sent it through to the court, even though I fucking know. I'm going to ask them, what about the now $10 that's already been paid to you over and above what these guys are asking for? How do I get that $10 back? And let them know that I'm disputing the fact that it's been filed with the court and this is ridiculous. Complete waste of time. I've honoured the debt. What the fuck? I'm going to ask them, what about the AP? I'm just going to keep that running regardless. Because if I stop the AP, they can say that there's been an error in the payments and I've defaulted 1 week or something. Not going to happen. And we'll see what happens. As far as the court costs are concerned, if the dispute gets accepted, the court costs go away. They will hand it back to Auckland Transport, tell them, don't be a pack of fucking wankers, you're getting paid, end of story. Whether they can't accept part payments like she's just told me on the phone, how the fuck would she know? She works for the Ministry of Justice. She doesn't work for Auckland Transport, so she doesn't get to tell me what they can and can't do. And for her to say they don't accept part payments, wrong. They do. You know, want to know how I can prove that? Because for the last 3 fucking months, I've been giving them part payments and they've been accepting it. Because every time I get a letter from some other cunt, be it MOJ or Baycorp, the fine's gone down or the fee's gone down. So they're accepting it because instead of $150 for the fee from Baycorp, they were telling me it was, what, $120 or $130 or something. I forget what that was. And these guys are saying 65, even though it's 55. So, Auckland Transport's next. See you on the next flick, guys. Bye.
We will be contacted by mental health professionals in the following days. I look forward to catching up with you next time. All the best.